A vision occurred to me as I was walking along the beach. Namely, everybody carrying ghetto blasters that were just breathing. My companion turned to me and said, "Why? Why would they just carry ghetto blasters around with breathing?" I said, "Because it provides rhythm and therefore a sign of life. Surely there is human activity here." She adjusted the flap at the base of my spine so that my head stood more erect. I cannot replicate this for you now because I would be off mic like that, which means I have to talk a lot louder. Essentially, therefore, I have to stoop like this. This means that although I have imperfect posture, I have more or less 20/20 delivery. I hope you enjoy these perfect rectangular blue things going all around us. This is a deeply precious ceremonial place. Sometimes I wish I was a pretty girl, so I could wreck myself in the shower. Sometimes I wish I was a pretty girl, so I could wreck myself in the shower. Been on my own so long, I can't tell right from wrong. Bloody red bats, squelching awful, foaming mutilation in the kiss of death. Sometimes I wish I was a pretty girl, so I could wreck myself in the shower. Sometimes I wish I was a pretty girl, so I could wreck myself in the shower. Been on my own all night, I can't tell left from right. Baby, come back, give me fever, cauterize this passion with a blood red kiss. Sometimes I wish I was a pretty girl, so I could wreck myself in the shower. Sometimes I wish I was a pretty girl, so I could wreck myself in the shower. Sometimes I wish I was so I could. Sometimes Andy, this is a really exciting point if you're still there in the sound booth. I've discovered that with the actual way I play on stage, I'm going to keep hitting the microphone unless I move it to another point than that which we agreed upon prior to the show. I crave your indulgence, dear audience, while I fiddle around as fast as possible with this microphone to enable me to continue after these messages. I hope the minimum of delay and discomfort is caused to you all, and I hope you feel a sufficient sense of bonding between yourselves, or at least an ability to share whatever there might be amongst you, should it be physical or mental, whilst I do this. This is an inevitable hiatus in a show, no matter how low-tech, namely this one. I'm now miking up what would be the spleen or the lower digestive organs of this guitar. I've moved out from the neck and I've headed right down towards the bottom. Other analogists would argue that if the guitar were to grow a pair of legs, I would be approximately not in the part where I would be if I was saying it had a pair of legs. In other words, please erase that previous sentence. This guitar has no legs, as you can obviously see. Therefore, let us assume, dear audience, that the legs are in fact contained here, and this is not the spleen, but corresponding to somewhere between Capricorn, the knees, and Aquarius, the ankles, before reaching, yeah, you guessed it, Pisces, the feet, down here, wherein the socket is also implanted. I'm going to try this technique out for this song. Could you put some chorus on this, Andy?
Please plug the DI in.
But it is. It's plugged in up here, at Pisces, the feet. The other end. Andy, I am a man of low-tech faculties. I cannot see the other end. Ah, no wonder it sounded like that. Hang on. Oh, there's masses of it. It was a bit muffled, wasn't it? Can I have a bit of chorus? This is a song about seeing my mother on top of a hill and finding that she has an enormous restaurant inside her, and that me and my friends can go up there and we can have not exactly barbecues, but we can have mushroom stroganoff and things like that, served cheaply by enthusiasts. Trains when I'm alone, I ride on them into another zone. I dream of them constantly, heading for paradise, or Basingstoke, or Reading. Trains when I'm awake, they ride along beside a frozen lake, and there in the buffet car I wait for eternity, or Basingstoke or Reading. Trains till it gets light. The summer turns to winter overnight. The leaves fall so suddenly. The sun sets at 4 o'clock. Exactly what I'm dreading. Dream of trains when I'm with you. I wonder if you dream about them too. Maybe we'll meet one night out in the corridor. I'm waiting for you, baby. Is that okay, Andy? Can you put a bit of rock and roll type delay on this one? Not so much chorus. I said I didn't anymore. He said, that's what you think. A tendril curled around his leg as he got up to leave. He said a friend of yours was here, but we all called him Steve. Clean Steve, clean Steve. They don't come any dirtier than me. Better watch out, all you space cats. Clean Steve is a mineral man. My cousin Bruce came round to stay, the father of
my son. He tore apart a stethoscope and pointed at the sun. There's tentacles between our worlds, he said, so I believe. He said the man next door's best friend was making videos with Clean Steve. You could have knocked me down with a feather if you'd had one. Clean Steve lent me £1 in 1974. That was a lot of money then. I was extremely poor. We had a party 3 years later. Clean Steve wore a robe. He brought a new Nick Lowe cassette and played it in the road. Clean Steve, Clean Steve. They don't come any dirtier than me. Better watch out, all you space cats. Clean Steve is a mineral man. Oh, just watch me now. Okay, you can stop. Oh, I called up Mark Ellen, but he wasn't really in. Instead I talked to his wife Claire about some gig she'd seen. Clean Steve was outside the house washing both his feet. We all had dinner with him once. He gave us lots to eat. There's some real people in the world and some who are pretend. Clean Steve is making videos with the man next door's best friend. He's good at playing frisbee and his teeth are shining bright. I think he comes from Leatherhead, if all my facts are right. Clean Steve, Clean Steve. They don't come any dirtier than me. Better watch out, all you space cats. Clean Steve is a mineral man. I haven't put the plectrum right the way over all the strings of the guitar for some time because I've been on holiday, and I've just been playing the first sort of 4.5 strings. It's a strange casual thing with music that you learn to do little flourishes and things like that, but I kind of out of practice. So I mean, I'm not making excuses, I'm just being matter of fact. I think sometimes that there's not much point, you shouldn't never tell people the truth because it upsets them, but if you don't tell them the truth, they get upset. So what do? They don't like it if you're concealing something, but at the same time, if you're out front and honest, that really upsets them too. So the best thing to do is to cover yourself in shrink wrap and just hope that the garbage men will take you away. This would probably do with some chorus, actually, if you've got any knocking around. God, this bloody microphone's right now. Hang on. It makes no difference, really, when you're at home, because you don't have a microphone under your fingers. People say, it must be really interesting being a professional musician. Do you travel far? And then you don't have to answer because they say, I had a nephew who played the trombone once. And then you don't have to say anything else. They say, but but his lungs and spleen were mysteriously sucked into the main valve, so he gave up. And you say, oh really? And then they suddenly look at you and they say, why did you say that? You said, well, you know, the lungs and spleen you were just talking about sounds like a bad show, really. And they say, well, I mean, it's all very well. Your trivial condolences will never make up for the missing innards of my boy. Call this a cup of tea? And I said, well, no, it was coffee. That's what you asked for. And then they pull out a fishnet and ram it down over you, so your arm, you know, you're pinned right to the middle, and it gets tighter and tighter. And these two mermaids covered in tin foil, well, not exactly mermaids, they're sort of James Bond space things, you know. Automatic female sarcophagi come flipping up towards you with a lasso, and they whirl it round just to make the point, you know, this nice woman you've asked around for tea because you were interested in her son, who might be a fellow musician because she got your name out of the phone book when your ex-directory to begin with, but she's desperate for a gig for her spleenless boy. So she's invited herself round to tea because she knows you're a musician and you're the only person in that postal area that happens to be a musician, apart from a guy called Rodrigo Tiara Manuana Estevez, whose name she can't pronounce, so she picks on you instead, and there she's standing there with this net around you and the lasso's beating up. And then you reach down and you find that, lo and behold, there's a little microphone, just like there is on stage. So you feel comfortable, you know, you're holding this black, long, thin thing, and it reminds you of your father. And because your mother has told you about that time she was out in the woods with a statuette. See, she says, it's just at the end of the war, and, well, you know, petrol was short, we couldn't go too far. My friend Jennifer said there were some interesting statues in the wood, just out near Virginia Water, 25 miles out of London. I went alone. That's what my mother said. I took with me things for a sacrifice and things for a picnic too. Knife, goat's cheese, goat, horned almanac, yogurt, bananas, and they were in very short supply after the war. Olives and a cock ring. I found a clearing in the wood, my mother continued, and I kneeled before the smallest sundial you've ever seen, and I wept tears of salt upon it, and lo and behold, thanks to the increased funding for scientific projects brought about by the war effort, that sundial expanded. And up on it, there sat the man who became your father. I know, Mum, I said. I know. You told me before. Anyway, I am my father. That's what you always told me. And then suddenly a voice comes out of the drawer, which has been closed for 35 years. Son, there are mirrors here. Watch your performing little whales. Or snip your harness off and take another walk around the bay. The way the English say we we only mustn't grumble in the end. A needle in your back, an arrow in your heart, you smile. Is your wax doll still crying in the fire? It cramps your handwriting and dulls what little style you have. You cast your mind back to professionals like Alan Breeze, who sees the windows freeze and hands around the keys. Unlock yourself, he says, but no one ever does, except for Jacob Lurch and Mr. Moose and Gandhi. Is your wax doll still crying in the fire? Is your wax doll still crying in the fire? Do you think that anybody wants to be your friend now that they know, now that they know? Son, there are breakers here. Your living room, it glides across the sea. Oh, high above the waves, the wrinkled little waves you cannot smooth. We travel everywhere, we're gonna take the suburbs to the stars. If I was man enough, I'd come on your stump. If I was man enough, I'd come on your stump. But don't you know, this is the home counties. Is your wax doll still crying in the fire? Is your wax doll still crying in the fire? Is your wax doll still crying in the fire? What you say? What you do? What you say, what you say, what you say? What you do, what you do, what you do? Baby, what you say? She said, yeah. Could you de-chorus this a minute, Andy, so I can make an attempt to tune it? Is that microphone in the right, more or less the right place, Andy? It's not, did you say?
I thought you said good luck. Oh my God, he's coming through. First the ferns, then the leaves, then the bud, and gradually the whole plant, Andy, blossom out of the speakers. Do you want to blossom out of the speakers?
I could.
Oh God, you see, that's exactly what the presence of the Lord is to all of us. We're all surrounded by our own monitors, out of which at any point suddenly foliage could erupt. This foliage, perhaps it's our conscience, perhaps it's a prophecy, perhaps it's just a sort of irrelevant roadmap popping up somewhere, but I'm still out of tune. Okay, Andy, well, I might hit the microphone with this hand occasionally because this is a faster one. This is a sort of chopping up things song, rhythmically anyway. It's quite useful. It's a long way from having a baby, except that it's painful. And there's a similarity in that, a sort of a ghastly parody of... No, I don't need to say that at all. I'm not the kind of guy who says a ghastly parody of orgasm. No, how did that get slipped into my acts? Oh, lack-a-daddy, I see more patterns forming around me. I can only assume it's the lights. Okay, off we go. This is another one, but it's going to have this chopping motion, and I haven't got time to explain to you all this stuff about salami and being on a boat that's rocking from side to side, and how a cook on roller skates is coming towards you, and the roller skates from time to time are actually on a pair of tram lines, you know, railway tracks or something, and you are tied down a la James Bond again. And it's true, I've only ever seen one film, I can't remember what it was called, but it's where they nearly chop his bits up with granite. And he's rescued by an angel caveman with wings and a beard who says, "Come here, don't worry, they're going to tell you that old story about chopping salami up." And suddenly people say, if we interpreted your stuff, we'd get some very paranoid things about things being chopped up. But I'd say no, because it's meaningless, you know. There's always an escape clause. I'm one of them. Watch this. It falls apart as it goes on. Yesterday I saw the devil in the nude. It was embarrassing, I turned away. He was leering in the mirror when I looked again. Everything you say you won't is what you will eventually. Honesty is money in the cemetery. If he treats you horribly, he's probably a Scorpio. He's a long kebab through your ovaries. The same goes out, the same goes in. Yesterday I saw the devil in a mood. He wasn't angry, but he stood around, biting off the legs of all his furry chums. I remember everything as if it happened years ago. Probably it did, so I remember it. You adjust your feelings and that gives you vertigo, falling off a high place and into it, just as I fell into you. Yesterday I saw the devil in my food. I wasn't hungry, but I played with it.
blood red horns gouged through my scrambles. Yesterday I saw the devil in our bed. I could have strangled him, I'm English though. So I made him coffee and I made him toast. Can I have some chorus on this one, please, Andy? Good God. Watching Romeo dissolve, I was tempted to join in. By the mirror of the lake, where the statues unfurl. I'd never seen a man so abuse his reflection. As the light shines through your Chinese bones, watching Juliet implode, I would hasten to warn her. But around her feet I saw that her serpent was curved. And her eyeballs had rolled up, so her pupils had vanished. And the light shines through your Chinese bones. Oh, the light shines through your Chinese bones. I met an interesting dwarf and I told him a story. As you walk towards the east, then your shadow must rise. Something Shakespeare never said was, "You've got to be kidding." As the light shines through your Chinese bones. Oh, the light shines through your Chinese bones. The line between us is so thin, I might as well be you. And everywhere I've ever been, I know you're going to. As the light shines through your Chinese bones. Oh, the light shines through your Chinese bones.
This is, I mean, it's really appallingly sexist. I wrote it a long time ago, and superficially my attitudes have improved, but I fear underneath that my basic reactions are the same. So this is honest, and I mean, it doesn't matter because it's essentially futile, you know, so all these things are just like watching something meandering around before it's boiled alive, you know. It's simply the activity of one human after another, a kind of endless series of waiting for Goddos, or Goddos as you say over here. But it could be waiting for Godiva, because it would be more interesting. But Godiva never dove, and if she did, she'd never have touched the bottom, because someone would have stolen her hair on the way down, and it would have been marketed. And they'd have said, well, never mind, you can have seaweed, you know, and they'd have said, back you go, but this time you go down with seaweed. Well, that's fine, it's great going down with seaweed, everything's happy, all those valves. People say, why are you obsessed with seafood? Why not? It's perfectly good, it's great, you know. It's wonderful, there's a whole load, I mean, we come from the sea, and with a bit of luck, we'll go back there. I mean, there's piles of things. We can't actually survive underwater, and it's too thick to sort of show movies through or anything like that. But already they've started building underwater Walkmans and all the rest of it, you know, and underwater birthings. There'll soon be underwater civilizations. People will realize that we don't need to grow hair, we can just have scales and all the rest of it. It's not whimsy, it's just going to be a place to put spare people when the surface of the earth becomes uninhabitable. You bet, you know, as soon as the corporations realize it's futile to build, you know, McDonald's and gas stations on Pluto, they'll realize they can do the whole thing much cheaper at home and in the water. It's just common sense, and it's nice, and eventually the saline solution will wash the absurdity out of people's brains. All art will become unnecessary, and people will talk in choral. But meanwhile, back in 1973, I wrote this when I didn't realize what was going to happen. Here come my baby, she pretty good, she pretty useful, just like she should. Simmer all day long. I cut meat and sing my song. It go way, way, happy hole, ding dong, yeah, yeah, way, way, happy hole, ding dong, way, way, happy hole, ding dong, yeah, yeah, way, way, happy hole, ding dong. Buy my baby a piece of cheese, dizzy, dizzy way, have Heathrow cheese. She'll eat anything that isn't disease, dizzy, dizzy way, have Heathrow cheese. Here she come walking down the roof. Hey, way, slap, way, date, woof, woof. She not heavy, man, that's the proof. Hey, way, slap, way, date, woof, woof. She my baby, she alright. Keep me fairly warm at night. Going way, way, happy hole, ding dong, yeah, yeah. Way, way, happy hole, ding dong. Way, way, happy hole, ding dong, yeah, yeah. Way, way, happy hole, ding dong. I got a dog with the legs of black. He got an aerial strapped to his back. He worked by remote control. They sent him down to the water hole. I sent him to get my baby back. Dog come home and he eats some coal. Say, master, she all full of holes. I said, more than usual. Dog said, yeah. I say, never you mind, just bring her here. Do you hear me, bring her here. Do you hear me, bring her here. Do you hear me, bring her here. There go my dog with her legs are black. Gonna get my baby back. Going way, way, happy hole, ding dong, yeah, yeah. Way, way, happy hole, ding dong. Way, way, happy hole, ding dong, yeah, yeah. Way, way, happy hole, ding dong. Here she come rolling up the creek. Jibber jabber, bathroom squeak. I fill her up but she starts to leak. Jibber
jibber jabber bathroom squeak. Police come with a laser gun. Paper lady blubber in the moon day sun. Burn my dog and away they run. Paper lady blubber in the moon day sun. Took my baby off for analysis. They conclude that she got paralysis. Why, have a hole, ding dong, yeah, yeah. Why, have a hole, ding dong. Why, have a hole, ding dong, yeah, yeah. Why, have a hole, ding dong. This is about the descent into stardom. People get what they deserve. Time is round and space is curved. Honey, have you got the nerve to be Queen Elvis? See that man that mows his lawn? He'll hang and drag before the dawn. Some are made and some are born to be Queen Elvis. It could break your mother's heart. It could break your sister's heart. Coming out's the hardest part when you're Queen Elvis. Justify your special ways. Justify your special ways. Getting blowjobs from the press. Oh, I'm jealous, can't you guess? I'd never fit inside your dress, Queen Elvis. Oh, and I'll sculpt you so very hard. Oh, and I'll sculpt you till you bleed. Everybody must get stoned. Together, all alone, babbling beside the throne of Queen Elvis. Justify your special ways. Justify your special ways. Two mirrors make infinity. In the mirror, you and me. Find out just what love could be. Queen Elvis. Oh, and I'll sculpt you so very hard. Oh, and I'll sculpt you till you breathe. People get what they deserve. Time is round and space is curved. Honey, have you got the nerve to be Queen Elvis? Thanks. About two people called Luther and Pat who live in a small town by the sea in the north of England when the lights go out, and how they gradually come to understand that between them a third thing is growing. Just as an avocado stem pierces an avocado stone and eventually splits it, just as a child grows up between two people and often wrecks the marriage, so a third indefinable force, part child, part shrub, part fish, emerges between them. Called real sex. We're overheating in a small town world. We're overeating in a small town world. I hear the sound of several different crimes, the distant eel and the silver chimes. Lieutenant Hodges often said to me, I see a shoal of them far out to sea. Messing with a guy like Reg, he'll leave you gurgling behind a hedge. But some are talking about a bass. Turn up your Pretenders album, it's a bass. Some are gonna walk you home tonight, baby. Bass. Up we go with her. And the wily bream are at the window with a quiet scream. The feisty barbell and the gruesome tench are decomposing on a yellow bench. There's something fluttering across the sand, and all I wanna do is hold your hand. Bass, it's in perpetual motion, it's a bass. It's gratitude for love, it's a bass. You can take it or leave it, it's a bass. He never make love to a loaf of bread, unless of course he found one in his bed. Now frogs are reproducing on your back, and bubbles keep emerging from a crack. It's not a cormorant, it's not a shag, it's only something in a plastic bag. This would really like chorus, some sort of nice pinging on it. Makes it more out of tune though, doesn't it, really? It's which evil one wants to go for. It makes that top note have two completely separate notes. It's interesting, that. That's kind of sparse, but more together. Okay, why, put the thing back on again. can see your dreams.
What sort of headaches have you been getting then? He said finally. His friend Wilfred had come round to see him and had complained of a bulge in the back of his neck. Come on then, Wilf, he said, after they had a couple of glasses of pale ale. I'll have a look at the back of your neck then, son. Ease your head forward for me, Wilf, old boy, he said. Wilfred obliged. He leaned his head forward, so articulating. Geoffrey, the other man, pushed the head forwards. Unusually, Wilfred's head appeared to be on an endless stretch of neck, and therefore where you or I, experiencing or giving such a back rub or neck massage, would soon find some kind of resistance from the depressed, as it were, head, Jeff found none. On the contrary, Wilfred's head seemed to spring from an endless supply of neck, as I've already said. In consequence, after 2 or 3 seconds of continued and fairly firm pressing, for Geoffrey was still a vigorous man of 59 years, Wilf's head was right down between his knees, while his shoulders were still bolt upright, exposing 3 or 4 feet of beautiful, white, plangent, plesiosaur-like neck. Blimey, said Jeff. What's up? Said Wilf from between his knees. Well, sorry, wrong voice. Wilf? Yeah? Have you had any trouble with your neck then? What? Any trouble with your neck? Nest? Well, no, there was a nest in the chimney last year. There was an owl, big man-eating owl in there. Had to have it pulled out. It lived in the oven. No, your neck. What? Well, said Wilf, have you ever noticed anything unusual about yourself? Oh, blimey, I'll say, ask the missus. No, I mean, well, look at it this way. Which way? I can't see nothing. Got my head between my knees. Well, at this point, Jeff pressed a small panel in the middle of a china poodle which was on top of the television set, and gradually the ceiling rolled back to reveal a perfect mirror. Now, just look up a second, old son, but this may come as a bit of a shock. Well, all right. Wilf rolled his head round. He was indeed very like the long-extinct plesiosaur, one of the more graceful of the aquatic dinosaurs. Blimey, I've seen one of them before, only it's got a hat on. What? It's got a hat on? A rat? No, plesiosaurs didn't have rats on them. There was no room. They'd have drowned underwater. Look, it's quite clear what it is. It's you. Well, it was me, yes, but I've got a feeling I've changed. And so he did, which is why he had this problem. My wife lies down on the stairs and stares into air. I know she's there. I'm making coffee for 2, just me and you, just me and you. But I come back in with coffee for 3, coffee for 3. My dead wife sits in a chair, combing her hair. I know she's there. She wanders off to the bed, shaking her head. Wilfred, she said, you know I don't take sugar. My wife
dead wife? Am I the only one that sees her? My wife and my dead wife. Doesn't anybody see her at all? No, 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 no. My wife sits down on the stairs. She's combing her hairs. I know she's there, 'cause I'm drilling holes in the wall. Little holes in the wall. I turn round and my dead wife's upstairs. She's still wearing flares. She talks out loud but no one hears. My wife and my dead wife. Am I the only one that sees her? My wife and my dead wife. Doesn't anybody see her at all? No, 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 no. And I can't decide which one I love the most. The flesh and blood or the pale smiling ghost. My wife lies down on a beach. She's sucking a peach. She's out of reach of the waves that crash on the sand, where my dead wife stands, holding my hand. Now my wife can't swim, but neither could she. And deep in the sea, she's waiting for me. She's waiting for me. Oh, I'm such a lucky guy, 'cause I got you, baby, and I'll never be lonely. My wife and my dead wife. Am I the only one that sees her? My wife and my dead wife. Doesn't anybody see her at all? No, just erode that. Hang on a second. That was really a song about people who are, someone who's kind of dismembered by phantoms because events in external reality took root in his inner tissue and produced creatures of their own which were beyond his control long after the external people had vanished. This, on the other hand, is about a real person in a real world at the other end of one thing, and I'm at the end of the other. And I love her very deeply. I'm in love with a beautiful girl. Yes, I'm in love with a beautiful girl. Well, I thought I knew all about everything, but I'm in love with a beautiful girl. And she's staring through a crack in the sky. Oh, she's staring through a crack in the sky. Well, I thought I knew all about everything, but I'm in love with a beautiful girl. Yes, I thought I knew all about everything, but I was wrong. I thought I knew all about everything. I thought I knew all about everything, but I'm in love with a beautiful girl. Yes, I'm in love with a beautiful girl. Oh, I thought I knew all about everything, but I'm in love with a beautiful girl. And she's in love with a wonderful guy. She's in love with with a wonderful guy. Well, I hope she's in love with whom I think she's in love with. I'm in love with a beautiful girl. I'm a charming and dangerous guy. Yeah, I'm a charming and dangerous guy. If you don't expect too much, it's alright. I'm in love with a beautiful girl. Said I'm in love with a beautiful girl. Well, I thought I knew all about everything, but I'm in love with a beautiful girl. Through a hole in the sky. Well, we'll be up there for the longest while, 'cause I'm in love with a beautiful girl. Yes, I'm in love with a beautiful girl. Well, I thought I knew all about everything, but I'm in love with a beautiful girl. Yes, I'm in love with a beautiful girl. Well, I thought I knew all about everything, but I'm in love with a beautiful girl. Thank you, good night. Seems like you were in a glass hotel. Seems like there was someone else as well. Seems like a dream. Seems like everything was going well. It seems like you were up there in your glass hotel. It seems well, the radio was playing in the darkness of the hall. There was someone standing with you who just wasn't there at all, and you were laughing. Geranium came out of it, reminded me of you, and I was crying. Seems like you were in a glass hotel. Seems like there was someone else as well. Seems well, there's nothing in the future, and
introduction song. Again, people say, you know, you're obsessed with sex. I mean, I could say something defensive like, who isn't, or what's that? Or where did you come from then, Sonny? A Captain Crunch box. You know. But why bother, really? You know? I mean, these are important themes. I mean, I'm not a college professor, I'm not trying to be patronising, it's just true, that's all. People, it's just the roots of things, you know. Love is... God, I nearly said love is important. Whoa, you'd have gone home believing that, wouldn't you? Mum, Robyn Hitchcock says love's important. Is that true? Why, of course not, sweetie. Your father and I have always hated each other. Why do you think you've got a mallet coming out of your third eye? This is a seduction song, if you like. Well, whether you like or not. Treat me lean and wiry. Treat me hot and fiery. Tell me you desire me. I got a message for you. Treat me hard and rubbery. Treat me soft and blubbery. Let's go to the shrubbery and make plans. I got a message for you. If I was a hairless spinster covered in festering boils, would you still make love to me? Or would you recoil? Think carefully. Roll me in the custard. Cover me with your mustard. As long as we are clustered, it's alright, I got a message for you. Though I'm not a piece of veal or a piece of beef, the way you get your teeth in me is beyond belief. Roll me in the greenery. Thank you, you've really been too much. I mean, point me at the scenery, I mean this most sincerely. Exploit me in the deanery. I got a message for you. Treat me hot and leathery. Treat me soft and feathery. Oh, what lovely weathery. Yes, I'm moist, I got a message for you. You got a message for me. We both like Brian Ferry. I've got a message for you. Thanks. I want you to say hello. Well, you could say hello to this tea bag. Hang on.
Hi, T-Bag!
Hey there, general public. You want to see me kill myself for a good cause? You do, good, okay. I'm gonna die, but Robyn's gonna get one hell of a kick out of this. Okay, go ahead. Oh, I don't know, I've already been in once. Well, that guy doesn't have to prove anything. Well, I hate to say it, but this tea isn't strong enough. I need all of your being. All my being. Well, I do. I need a total 100% contribution. I'm going to get a namby-pamby cup of tea. Oh, steady on there. You don't want to be greedy. I mean, and that's a pretty strong-looking cup of tea you got there. Yes, but you don't understand. I want a real shit-ass cup of tea. I don't want a shit-ass cup of tea, man. You want to go down there? No, that's enough. No. You're gonna die for my benefit. I mean, I could be dying for... Yeah, like hell I'm gonna... Winnie, you're gonna die for my benefit, man. I mean, for God's sake. Ever heard of a guy killing himself for a wet tea bag? Well, listen, Mr. Teabag, you might be interested to know that if I couldn't get a cup of tea in the morning, I'd probably kill everybody else before I got my own. I need that stuff, I've kicked everything but tea. Well, and cigarettes, I suppose, but it's not the same. You can't have a... Well, okay, talk to your cigarettes. I can't talk to my cigarettes, they're home rolled. I don't care, you goddamn talk to your home rolled cigarette. I'm sorry, but... The wah-wah pedal is invented in my tea bag drum. Hang on a minute.
just at the end of day, way down in disarray. In the aquarium, the fish went through the trees, the planes went through the seas, and you were still with me. Everything revolves around the sun. You know I'm gonna miss you when I'm gone. Everything revolves. I never knew a thing about you. I never knew a thing about you. I headed in a dream towards you. I wonder if I ever saw you. But I never knew a thing about you. She says she's gonna saw her head off. She only does it for attention. Like other people I could mention. She wasn't feeling good to start with. You're not someone I wanna part with. All you need is love, but all you get is a friend. Everything revolves around the sun. You know I'm gonna miss you when you're gone. Everything revolves. your love has done to me. Right from my skin down to my bones. September comes. September comes. The horses tramp beneath the tree. Their breath is mist, it seems to me. They're solid ghosts, each one alone. September comes. September comes. The phone box glows beside the sea. There's no one there but you and me. So let's make love in the ozone. September comes. September comes. And when she's lonely, she just gazes in the glass. And when she's lonely, she just counts the blades of grass. Here comes a boy. He's looking pale. He's growing horns. He's grown a tail. He needs a love to call his own. September comes. September comes. One night as I lay on the beach, one night as I lay in a sack, I dreamed a dream that came to me and went again as most dreams do. And in that dream I saw the hills across the south of England, not as they are, but as they seem to be in the commercials. Hump by hump, in the golden evening light, long rich bars of shadow cutting across the ripening corn.
Oh, something's exploding in the cupboard. See who it is, Dennis. And in each shadow, the molecule swarms, rich and dark. And under each tree, a bright red English phone box, specially repainted, ready for transplantation to California and the land of plenty, stood glowing its last twilight glow on the English soil. And then I woke up, my head was in a bucket. Good night. Thanks, see you later.